Your live interactive Weather Authority coverage will begin shortly. Your live Weather Authority coverage starts right now.
Good Monday morning, everybody. Hopefully you're having a nice start to your work week. Hopefully you got to enjoy the gorgeous weekend that we just had. It was so nice out there, both Saturday and on Sunday. Yesterday, so hard to beat. It was absolutely gorgeous out there. Today, though, not quite so nice. We also have the threat of some flooding once again on the way for tomorrow. So we do have to talk about that. But as of right now, things are fairly quiet. There is some rain moving in, though, late this morning and as we head into lunchtime, and you can see it is mostly cloudy out there for most of us as of right now. So you can see we're taking a look at Old Orchard Beach right now. A lot of people still out there. Of course, it is one of the peak times of the year to be visiting Maine, so you can't let a day go to waste when you're at Old Orchard Beach, but it is starting to rain there. It's wet on the beach right now. Not the nicest day for sitting out at the beach, but it looks like plenty of people don't mind and are outside anyway. So here's a look at our radar right now. You can see showers beginning to move into York County. We're going to see those moving into the Portland area, into Cumberland County here as we head through the next couple hours. So do expect things to turn wetter. If you didn't bring the rain gear today, well, you'll probably want to be dashing to your car this afternoon. But hopefully you did bring your rain jacket, because we are going to see these showers continuing for much of the rest of the day. So the showers have moved into York County. We're going to continue to move through the rest of the state here as we head through the next several hours. But taking a look at our storm threat for today, thankfully here in Maine, not looking like we're going to see anything major for today. No severe weather expected, but off to our south, a major severe weather event looks to be taking shape. Notice the red shading right over the Washington, D.C. area. A pretty significant severe weather event. It's very rare to get such a high level severe weather threat in the mid-Atlantic this time of year. So it looks like we could see some very damaging winds, some tornadoes potentially as well off to our south. Very thankfully, not going to see a major severe weather threat here in Maine. However, heading into tomorrow, we do have the threat of some flash flooding, which does look like a pretty elevated threat of that. So we're not avoiding the messy weather completely. But thankfully today, we are avoiding the worst of the severe weather. It's going to be well off to our south. But if you've got friends in the DC area, friends in Maryland, Southern Pennsylvania, West Virginia, Virginia, might not be a bad idea to check on them today and make sure they're aware that there are some really nasty storms moving in, it looks like, later on this afternoon. But thankfully, again, not going to impact us here in Maine. For today in Maine, in the 70s for most of us, mid 70s out there, although low 70s or even upper 60s looks more likely for a lot of us as, again, that rain is moving on in. All right, let's talk about tomorrow, because we do have, again, that flash flood risk, and it looks highest towards central and northern Maine. So from Lewiston over towards Augusta, towards the mountains especially, that's where we've got that highest flood threat. Places like Rumford, Jay, up towards the higher elevations and over towards northern Maine, that's where we've got that highest risk of flash flooding for tomorrow. Now notice all of the state is highlighted with an elevated risk of flash flooding, but it's just those mountain areas that are most likely to see it. So that's why we do have that elevated risk there for the flash flooding out there tomorrow. Of course, we don't want to hear that. We've had so much rain this summer, so many flash flooding events, but it does look like we do have that potential yet again tomorrow, especially over the mountains. I'm hoping that at least most of us will be able to avoid this. Hopefully it'll be pretty isolated out there tomorrow, but considering how much moisture is moving in, there is the potential for a more significant flash flood event out there tomorrow, likely something more significant than what we saw on Friday. Luckily on Friday, we avoided the worst of the weather. Tomorrow, likely not so much. Likely more of us will see the heavy rain in that flash flood threat. Also, not to be completely discounted here, is the threat of a strong storm or two. Most of us not really going to see this. It's just looking like the flash flood threat is the biggest deal for tomorrow. But if you're in York County, from the Sanford area over towards the York County beaches, Old Orchard, all the way down through Kittery, York, Ogunquit, Wells, there is that threat of a stronger storm or two tomorrow, mainly with some gusty winds that could bring down some branches, that sort of thing. But overall, I think the biggest threat here tomorrow is going to be that flash flood risk. But let's say this area does get expanded. Of course, we will keep you posted on that as we head into the day tomorrow. But I would just be prepared for a washout tomorrow. And remember to never drive through a flooded roadway. So let's time all of this out. Today, we'll continue to see those showers moving through the state off and on, heading through the afternoon and into this evening. Not a washout today. There will definitely be breaks in the rain, but it is largely going to be pretty wet. By tomorrow morning, we're seeing a steady rain, widespread thunderstorms across the state. Here we are at 7 a.m. Notice the mountains getting a lot of heavy rain out there, and that's where the most rain looks likely to fall. And that's also where that highest risk of flooding is. It's up towards the mountains, so that's why we are closely watching that heading into the day tomorrow. We'll continue to see showers and storms moving through the day on Tuesday. Yeah, notice really not much of a break out there tomorrow. Here we are at 8:30 in the evening. Not much of a difference from 8:30 in the morning. So really, it's an all-day rain tomorrow. Even if it's not downpouring, there will likely be some drizzle or at least some sprinkles out there through the day on our Tuesday. So definitely a day to have some indoor plans, maybe go see the Barbie movie or just stay home tomorrow. Definitely a good day for that because it's just going to be so wet out there on Tuesday. Now, the good news is by Wednesday, big improvements look to arrive. Sunshine looks to return, and we should clear those skies out as well. So looking a lot better towards the middle of the week. But of course, all eyes on that rain potential. Looks like the, again, highest totals in the mountains, up to 4 inches or more of rain could fall. For the rest of us, totals actually have been trending upwards today. 1 to 3, if not up to 4 inches of rain is expected. So yeah, going to be pretty rough out there tomorrow. Definitely a good day to maybe have some indoor plans or at least have a way to get warnings. Just stay weather aware out there for Tuesday. These rainfall totals looking really impressive, looking more so than what we saw this past Friday. So definitely a good day to remember to keep your guard up for that flood potential tomorrow. Hey, Brandon, good morning to you as well. It was a great weekend. Hopefully you got to enjoy it. I went for an awesome hike on Saturday. I'm actually so sore from it. I hiked Tumbledown Mountain on Saturday, and I went down the trail that you have to go through the little gap in the rocks. If anyone's watching who has hiked Tumbledown Mountain, you know what I'm talking about, the little cave that you have to hike through. Very, very steep hike. The downhill always worse than the uphill. So I am very, very sore right now. So yeah, walking a little funny today. But overall, it was a great weekend. It was so much fun to do that hike. And it was so much fun to get some nice weather. But yeah, the rain for tomorrow, big flood potential. Diane, you're right. Ouch, it looks like Rumford is going to get hit. Unfortunately, yeah, Diane, Rumford right in the sort of bullseye for that heaviest rainfall total tomorrow. So yeah, it does look like there is a potential for more road washouts, that sort of thing, like we saw several times already this summer. So again, we'll keep you posted on these rainfall amounts. I'll walk through the timing again coming up here in just a minute. So yes, heavy rain tomorrow. Definitely a day to keep your guard up for the weather. Of course, we'll keep you posted here. But if you want dry air, great news for you as well. Look at our dew point trend here beyond tomorrow. Tomorrow, of course, a washout. We just have to accept that it's going to be a very wet day. Wednesday, though, looking much drier. And notice Thursday, Friday, Saturday, much more pleasant, much more comfortable as dry air returns to the state and sunshine does as well. So looking a whole lot better here as we head later on into the week as we return to some sunny skies and some drier air. So not all downhill or not all downsides here to our forecast. Plenty of upsides this week. Unfortunately, tomorrow is just a rough, very heavy rain day, which we just do not want to see any more of. But after Tuesday, again, much better weather. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, clearing our skies out, temperatures near 80 or in the lower 80s towards the end of the week. If you're already thinking about next weekend, as I'm sure many of us already are, Saturday looks great. If you want to make some outdoor plans, I would suggest Saturday as the day to do it, near 80 degrees with a good amount of sun. Looks like Sunday does turn stormy once again. As of right now, not looking like what we're going to see out there tomorrow, but well, of course, we'll keep an eye on that and see if it trends towards a more heavy rain event throughout this week. If you're inland, we're also going to see a really nice week beyond Tuesday, Wednesday through Saturday, looking great. Sunny skies Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and on Saturday, high temperatures in the upper 70s or lower 80s, some drier air in place, feeling great out there. Some really awesome summer weather here towards the end of the week. Thankfully, our Tuesday rain not being prolonged, not sticking around for multiple days. So yes, it just looks like next Sunday, that will be our next chance of rain. So let's go back and talk about what we're expecting for today and into tomorrow. Again, the highest risk of that flash flood threat going to be towards the mountains. Let's say you're up in the Rumford area, up towards Rangeley, Skowhegan, Dixfield, places like that. again, have that highest threat of seeing the flash flooding. Here's a look at our flash flood risk. The slightly brighter shade of yellow here that's highlighted. Apologize if I'm getting the colors wrong. I'm colorblind, so I cannot tell. But brighter shades of yellow towards the mountains and towards down East Maine. That is where we've got that highest threat of flash flooding. So again, as Diane mentioned, looks like Rumford probably going to be in that bullseye area. And Brandon, how's the Lewiston Auburn area looking for Tuesday? The good news is Lewiston Auburn should avoid the worst of the rain. It should be the highest total should be north of you in Lewiston Auburn. However, we've already seen our fair share of flash flooding in Lewiston Auburn. And again, I couldn't rule out seeing some tomorrow. Right on the line there, if you notice that yellow shading, it does cross right through the Lewiston area. So again, Lewiston is included in that higher risk of flash flooding tomorrow. So just have a way to get warnings. Remember to never drive through a roadway if it is flooded. Also, that strong storm threat, that's mainly in York County though. So hopefully everybody stays safe out there today, and especially tomorrow when we get that heavy rain threat. Of course, we'll keep you posted on any flood warnings, any flash flood warnings that we get here over the next couple of days. So stay safe out there, everybody. Hope you have a great rest of your Monday. And of course, we'll keep you posted on the storm threat headed our way tomorrow.
This has been live interactive Weather Authority coverage from CBS 13 and Fox 23. Make sure to stay connected with CBS 13 and Fox 23